Hello, Denise. I was doing audio readings forever, right? And every time I got into an audio reading, I was like, it would be so cool if they could see the cards that I was pulling so they could see like how crazy this came together, right? So I started doing videos. Here we are. Let me know if this works in your Dropbox folder. I know people who have iPhones tend to have a little bit of an issue with that. I can just put it on YouTube for you. Same thing. I'm going to get started with this shadow work reading today. You're actually the first one I am doing of these, which is awesome. The first one today, because it's like a clear palette. When I do shadow work readings, I have to trudge through your darkness while holding your hand. So I am going to get started by tapping into your Akashic record. And we've been through this spiel a couple times. You understand the human radio receivers and whatnot. So I'm not going to drag you through that. We're just going to go ahead and type into your energy. And then we're going to talk to your shadow, right? The part of you that is repressed. Now, this can be things as far as your talents that you put away when you were younger, like maybe you were good at drawing but nobody supported it so you stopped doing it, or things as bad as like you used to get beatings when you were little, so that's clearly obvious trauma. But either way, the parts of you that you repressed in order to survive the life that you had to live are the things that are in your shadow. Today, the shadow will speak. So I am entering the Akashic Records on the behalf of Denise Swartz. Entering on the behalf of Denise Swartz. So for Denise Swartz Shadow, what is the first thing that needs to come out? Shadow likes to say, you work a lot. That was kind of like the first vibe that came through. Like you don't give enough of you to you at all. So are you? I believe you're already in a relationship. Yeah, because you gave me a new last name. So there are some things that still need to be cleared out here, according to your shadow, right? But it is because you put so much into your work, your career, everything that's going on around you, that there are some parts of your journey that are being uprooted on their own. It's like you were unable to see the warning or heed the warning or anything for what needed to clear shadow wise for what you're requesting to manifest. I need to mention that first and foremost. This is in accordance with what you are requesting for yourself. There was a little bit of this energy, this past unknown energy. There are still some things that you want to do, some decisions that you want to make, but they're all on pause, right? So what I am seeing here is there is one major decision, one major decision that you made really quick, something really fast. Maybe it came out of nowhere, um, but there is regret about it now. It's ending the cycle that was connected to that decision. This is caught in the ruins. This is when you are recognizing that a ship or something is going down and you're still on it because you don't think that there's any way out of it. You are stepping into your power, but there's an energy. This could be a friend or a family member. It could even be that job, but there is definitely an energy that is slowing you down here on your mission, stepping and stopping you from this. And I know it's like, why Jesus? But it says divine position. You're in your awakening. You're requesting to move to another level in your ascension. And with that being done, some of the other decisions you made are not in alignment with that and they're being cleared out. So now, after you're at that place of indecision, you are being forced to look around at everything that you have. This is really interesting because your shadow is still unhappy with what you have. And it does not feel like you're actually lacking anything, might I add. But there are goals that you had for yourself that are not exactly what you ended up with. So it's like part of you is looking around like, hey, I have this stuff. Because look at both these guys. but there's still something missing. Look at both of their faces. There's still, it's like you forgot your baby in the car. That's my term now. Like it's something that's important, but I don't know what it is. And that's what's going on here. Because you have all this other stuff that is not resonated with the life that you want going forward, uh, that is causing a standstill. So now I'm gonna pull from the dark mirror card. Let's start diving into what this is. So first and foremost, what is caught in the ruins? What is Denise being asked to let go of? What is she being asked to let go of? I'm gonna place that down, but I'm gonna put it down so I don't see it first, right? What treasure is she not recognizing? What is blocking Denise from recognizing her treasures? That's the correct question. I love when that happens. Like, no, no, no. Say this. So, what is caught in the ruins? Can't make this shit up. Forgetting oneself. So, this pattern is the one that it needs to go. As far as what's caught in the ruins, what you started really fast. You started really fast on a path that did not include what you originally wanted for yourself. And this can even go back to childhood. Remember in the beginning when I was saying that maybe you drew or something when you were little and nobody supported it, so you started doing something else, right? It could be something like that. That's where I'm getting linked to. There's a whole nother path, a whole nother thing that you wanted that you don't even realize you wanted because amnesia of self, amnesia of childhood self and your original goals. Uh, but now that you are stepping back into the place where you're like, hey, this is what I want to do, clearly, because we keep doing sessions together. There's something calling you. So, what is the treasure you're not noticing? It's fragmentation is what's stopping you from noticing. Fragmentation is when something happens in this life or another. And I'm going to dig into that for you. This is what the shadow work reading is about. You break off a piece of yourself to survive the situation. A part of you is not connected. So that is going to be the theme for your shadow work reading today. There is a part of you that, or there's a foundation that you have built, not on steady ground. A foundation that you have built based upon the person you thought you were, not the person that you actually are. So I am about to ask your shadow. Yes, there's a deck for that. Ask your shadow what it wants to say to you, because the first thing it told us was like, hey, something's off. Something needs to be cleared. Habits of feeling like you have to do much in order to be accepted. Feeling like your worth is determined by how much you do and not just who you are. Like there's a feeling that there isn't an inherent worth for you just as you are. Like if Denise was to sit here and do nothing, Denise would suddenly feel like crap because she wouldn't know, like, oh my gosh, like, what is my worth? What am I supposed? I'm sorry for whatever that was in the background. Um, your purpose, maybe you've started feeling like your purpose is in your earning potential, quite possibly. How much you have available to give to others. So let's see. What would Denise's shadow like to say to her? I'm in here. That's a song by Sia. I really think you need to listen to. I'm in here. It's wonderful. But that's what your shadow is just sounding like. I've been struggling. And I don't really know you. So this reading for you is really pivotal because you have not been tapping into your shadow. You have not been allowing yourself to feel your own pain. I believe that if you think that you do that, you feel like it might slow you down. Looking back, you have that Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah thing going on. Like you have a fear of looking back or you're going to turn into salt. But in not looking back, you're actually leaving pieces of yourself that you need to move forward. So if you've been noticing any waves in your moods or anything, or just that feeling, that sense of, do I want to say lack of fulfillment? Like something's missing. That's what this keeps feeling like a itch behind your ear. Like, what is that? Is the feeling. So the I don't really know you. is in connection to you connecting to that part of yourself. I'm going to actually pull now for the past life, is where I'm being led to. There's a past life connection to why you are having difficulty connecting to your shadow. Your shadow is like you guys have Wi-Fi to each other, but you've turned off your Bluetooth. So, what is the past life story behind Denise's connection to her shadow? Where did the separation between Denise and her shadow begin? Ah, I always love telling these tales, right? So, this has to do with a karmic relationship and unrequited love. And by this, I mean, very interestingly, you were in a relationship with a guy, not by your own choice. This is forced. Like you were forced on a ship, and this looks like a regular ship here, but when it just screamed through me, a spaceship. Yes, these things exist. If you look up, I think, what is it, lunar colonies? Moon colonies. Either way, spaceships, like aliens, have their whole other Guardians of the Galaxy story going on, just like that. Down here is the past. Our stuff is outdated. They're way beyond that. So, you probably were aware of Starseed origins. You were taken from somewhere of importance, um, and put with this person, very likely Martian, because of the unrequited love. They wanted you with them, but they were unable to return that love to you. So, in order to survive that situation, you let go of pieces of yourself. That has been the pattern that has been rippling down here in order to survive the situation. Uh, your parents popped up for me, like the feeling just now, like the reiteration. I don't know if it was your father, maybe some type of father figure, grandfather, somebody. That is a ripple of this energy here. But yeah, sweetie, that's pretty much saying that. Yeah, you were put in the position where you know Stockholm syndrome is. That's where the separation came for you. In order to survive a situation, you put your light self first so that you can survive every day. But you tucked all those negative feelings that you couldn't do anything about, and that inevitably would get you like abused if you showed any negativity or any resistance into your shadow. So a lot of what you've been dealing with now has to do with forgiveness. The people that you've come in contact with, the situations, the family that you're in, you've been clearing out this karmic ripple. This could even be that the person that you're with now, that you're actually learning how to balance out the love with. But it was important to see where that fragmentation happened. A part of you cracked when you got kidnapped and were forced into a marriage with somebody who found that your gifts were of use to them. Martians had no connection to source. So in order for them to get light for themselves, they paired up with brides or queens or royalty from other celestial places in order to like feed off of their energy, off of those that are still connected to source. And there are a lot of people who actually have like this life trauma, still dealing with those mates, because these patterns, like once they're in your DNA, they keep running around being pinged by the transits, right? Until it's cleared. And in your case, it was clearing through forgiveness, through love. So let's see now, because that was wildly unexpected, right? Let's see now what traits you're going to be letting go of and what traits you're going to be embracing. So, what shadow patterns is Denise meant to release now? What does she need to let go of to move forward? What do you need to release? Ah, surprise, surprise. So, all right, there are parts of you that are really not happy with your experience, but you still have this feeling of you have to be transparent with anyone, you have to be open for everybody, you have to be kind of service, like it's an energy of being, even if you feel like, okay. So what that has done to your shadow is that's put an envy in there for people who get to do what they want all the time. And then there's this leftover revenge card. This has to do with that past life. Parts of you don't do what you feel like you want to do. Sometimes you don't follow your own intuition because part of you isn't accepting what you really want for yourself in the first place. So let's find out what that is. So you're releasing that, by the way, releasing any feelings of jealousy because maybe things aren't exactly what you want in your life. Also releasing anybody who is jealous of you because you can sense it with somebody as you just try to see everybody in the best light, and that's not always going to work good for you. Like I said before, you have been a battery for an empty source before. So therefore, you know how the positive and negative work together, light attracts dark. That's what happens here. You attract a lot of people who want that light. And when you give away a lot of your light, you start developing some of those vampiric traits, like the envy or revenge, or just like what you were seeking in other people. Even if, like, keep in mind, this is your shadow I'm talking about, your repressed mind. What you were seeing or seeking or desiring in other people is things or are things that you were meant to have for yourself. You only perceive or desire what you already want, right? So, what traits does Denise need to embrace? What traits does she need to develop? Gambler, right? Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. This whole reading has been about the fact that other people say things to you and it makes you stray away from your intuition. Shapeshifter, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. This is like for you, keeping this phase, but knowing what you actually want back here. It seems like when you used to be very transparent about what you wanted and what you wanted to do, who you want to be around and that stuff, somebody would talk you out of it, and then you'd have to think of it a million ways, and you never got to the destination you wanted to get to because everybody else's stuff was sort of in here. But in this case, this is allowing you to move fluidly through a situation and understand that you could say, oh, well, that's a great idea. And then in the back of your mind, be like, fuck no, I would never do that. And it's not fake in your case because you recognize the pattern in people trying to change your thoughts. This was based upon what happened before. Imagine that you're like married to a dude you don't want to be married to, and his mom is fucking awful. If you go to her for fucking advice, she's gonna give you shitty advice. His family is, his friends is, anybody around you. And in a Stockholm syndrome type situation, like what you were in, all you had was his people around you. So it was constantly people working you against your mind when you were honest as a being of light about what you actually wanted. So this is the energy you're embracing, along with that of a guide, represents the nature of the divine in its life and in itself. Now, this last one is very interesting because you're being asked to take a moment to embrace the victim within yourself. And I know that sounds weird, but it's not saying like boo hoo hoo, life is horrible, but your shadow wants to be acknowledged for the times that you have suffered. You're a very strong person. So there's an energy of you that knows how to pick up and keep moving. But like I said, this came from childhood. This is something that was developed over time. You were probably a very sensitive child to everything, very into details. But you also realized what you had to do in order to not get I don't want to say love taken from you, but not to feel weird, not to feel like an outcast. And that became the things that you edit into your personality. Like if you notice this person doesn't like red, you start wearing red, just as an example. You know what I mean? So those are the traits you're embracing. And what will be the outcome? Denise, she releases those shadow traits and embraces the traits that she has given away. The traits you have given away were that gambler, somebody willing to jump out there based on their intuition, that shapeshifter, the person that knows how to move through different levels of consciousness based upon who can perceive what's coming out of her mouth, because not everybody's going to understand your level of intelligence. So sometimes you got to it down because trying to talk to them like this, they're going to make you feel weird and then you're going to shut down. So I had to explain that. A new journey. Isn't that how we started this reading, with you standing at a crossroads being confused? Everything is on pause for you. Or maybe not pause, things are moving, but you feel like it's confusing because there's still stuff that has to be cleared out, still things that have to be moved so you can come into alignment with this journey. And then look, adjacent possibilities. That's what you can expect. All new, everything. Because then we're never really like off our path, but we can get stalled on our path so long we don't move. And then by path, I mean the north node. Uh, in your case, you've been stalled, but now you're asking for the debris to be moved so you can start going forward again. So I have two more sets I'm going through here because you need your dark goddess. I love this case because this is about the divine feminine, and the dark goddesses are the ones that have gone through shit and made it out the other end. So sometimes when you need assistance, you call upon the energy of a specific dark goddess, which is already within inside of you as the divine feminine, to assist you with this healing of your shadow. Because you don't throw the shadow away. The shadow is there. It's like your assassin. It handles things for you, but it also holds the things that you can't hold in your consciousness on a daily basis in order for you to survive. So what dark goddess is Denise being called to work with at this time? What dark goddess energy that you need to embrace? Baba Yaga, loss. Yeah, see, I've never heard of that one. This is always interesting to me. I'm actually going to read from the book from this one because there's like this whole little cool thing they have in here with you. And I bet you it's going to like trigger everything that we just talked about today. Baba Yaga, loss. Lost within a forest dark, borrowing others' light and spark. No need to steal to be seen. Find your way and shine supreme. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. Now's the guidance. Every time you steal somebody's thunder, you are taking away their moment that they have earned. Trying to win praise for oneself by preempting someone else's attempt to impress is a completely fake way to receive adulation. Baba Yaga knows what it is to be without love and understands that you sometimes need to steal the limelight in order to be noticed. However, Baba Yaga does not look kindly on those who have more than they need in life, and she will take from those who don't appreciate what they have. Do you really want Baba Yaga to teach you her lesson in a hard lesson in understanding loss? Then start to appreciate what really does matter in life. Give praise where it is due and learn to cherish who you are. Baba Yaga offers to lead you out of the dark forest that ensnared you for a while. Spend time connecting with the forest. You have lost sight of who you are. Can't make this up. Something that has been lost to you will return. Don't lose faith. Stop trying to seek attention. You aren't using all of your true potential. Something is being hidden from you. Open your eyes. I don't even feel like I need to say anymore on that one. You're also just in the background. Oya is being called here. Deliverance. You're asked to be asking your soul, your shadow is asking to be released from the chains of the energy that is binding, the past energy, the fear of growth, the fear of being everything that you really want to be in this world. So this got dark. I mean, it's a shadow reading. I do appreciate that. So I'm going to end this with what you need for self-care, embrace for self-care for this next part of the journey, because this is going to be heavy pulling. So what energy does Denise need to embrace for self-care? What does she need? Self-care, so this integration. Integration is you bringing those fragmented pieces, the parts of you that are broken away back into full consciousness so you can be 100% you. What did that dark goddess just say? There's so much of your potential you're not even seeing. So look to the stars and look at that. Astrology off top. Next, journaling. Keeping track of your feelings, keeping track of your thoughts. You can do video diaries like this for yourself, actual writing diaries, or even voice notes. It's just really important for you to get all those thoughts out of your head and into the open, but also to keep track of your feelings and your experiences so you remember they're legit for you, because you have a lot of gaslighting going on around you. And sometimes because you have gone through it so much, there's a lot of gaslighting in your head of yourself. That's important for you to be able to talk yourself through to defeat it in the future. Walking more in nature with self. But then the look for fairies, that is a nod to your childhood self. More magic is needed in your life in a childhood way. Try some Disney movies. Just anything that you used to watch that used to light you up as a child, that's going to start to trigger memories of what else you liked as a child. And that's what you need to start incorporating more of in your life. Absolutely. You're getting big Denise in touch with little Denise so that you can both move forward. So look forward to your feedback on this. I'm actually going to deliver the past life one to you tomorrow because this was heavy.